back to the Rugby Connection podcast for the fans, by the fans. Excuse me. It's been a massive weekend of rugby, and we don't have really many people to talk about. Just Cam, as you with us today. Cam, how are you?
Just us. Murray's dying at the moment. He's just this weekend of rugby. It's really got to him. It's slowly killing him. All the rugby. I think the Edinburgh loss probably killing him. The Scotland loss killing him. The Exeter Chiefs loss killing him. Unfortunately, Murray's not going to be with us for much longer. Sad to say.
I'm good. Right. Yeah, there was just something in the back of my throat there. I apologise.
Anyway, too many L's.
It's the first time. None of my teams won this weekend. Anyway, go straight into it. The Tech Talk Six Nations started this weekend, and it was so good.
It was
so good. Start off at the Cardiff Arms, where Wales put a hurting on Ireland, 31 points to 5. Go up to Kingston Park in Newcastle, where the mighty defending Grand Slam champions Red Roses demolished Scotland 58-7, and then probably the game of the weekend for me.
Agreed.
Italy going right to the end against France, coming out with a defeat, but France winning 22-12. So, yeah, we'll start off in Wales, obviously, because
starting Cardiff, yeah.
How good were Wales?
I said it, didn't I? I said, Wales ladies, show the boys how to do it. And 31-5, actually not far off the men's result against Ireland, just the other way around. But what a game!
So good.
I do
feel for a friend of the show, Gwen Crabb. She just came back from, I believe, a nasty foot injury that kept her out basically right up until now. She's not played much rugby this year. 6 minutes in, it's like she went out the line for a burst of defence. Went too quick, and then went to change it, and the knee didn't come with her. So it looked.
I know how that feels. I know exactly how that feels.
So I'm hoping, obviously everyone's hoping, that Gwen it's just a precaution that she came off, and she's not out, because we hate to see that. But another friend of the show,
I was going to say another certain player, Kira Bevan, blood GL.
Oh God, I know you get like whip at nines and like tap and go players, but I've never seen a 9 dive over the line from
what a try it was.
It's so good.
And not only her try, obviously she converted her own try.
Yeah.
And her kicking off the tee was pretty damn good for the whole night.
Yeah. It's just no complaints from a Welsh point of view. No complaints. From Ireland, it's tricky because I think a lot of people don't actually realise Ireland are the only team in this Six Nations that weren't in last year's World Cup.
Yeah.
So they're like, you look at 6 months ago, here's what Wales did, blah, blah, blah. It's hard to tell what Ireland can do.
Yeah. Obviously, it's not a great result for the Irish ladies. They did get a consolation try right at the end on 66 minutes to Friday, but yeah. Tough game for the girls. Obviously, they've got a way to come, but it's the type of game where I feel like, yes, it was a heavy defeat, but some positives can be taken away. And after a defeat like that, the only place you can go is up.
I'm so glad you said that in that way, because it takes us to our next game. England versus Scotland, 58-7. Now, if you look at the scoreboard, ouch. But you need to bear in mind, the Red Roses set-up programme, whatever you want to call it,
is immense.
Their squad depth is phenomenal. They have been, in the last 10 years, they've been world champions and World Cup finalists. They have, I've lost count of how many Grand Slams they've got. 8, 9?
Too many.
Something like that. They've been professional basically since they won the World Cup in 2014. So it's like 10 years full on. That's their job. These Scotland girls have only been professional 6 months.
Yeah, I was about to say, half a year.
Not even that, but well, yeah, 6 months is half a year, but yeah, no, I don't even think it's been that long since we got the full contracts. So 58-7, yeah, in grand scheme of things, not great, but a lot of positives I've seen from the Scotland team because we had England rattled for a good portion of that.
Yeah.
It's just England were just too strong. And I mean, Marley Packer.
Can we talk about Marley Packer scoring a hat-trick in the space of 10 minutes?
It's just what she does. It's ridiculous.
How disgusting is that? I'm looking at Flash score right now. Marley Packer, 57 minutes try. Marley Packer, 62 minutes try. Marley Packer, 66 minutes try.
Yep. She just...
Immense shift. Shift.
We will talk about another legend of the game who bowed out in style, as we just mentioned. Sarah Hunter. 141 caps.
It's insane.
Like I mentioned earlier, World Cup winner, World Cup finalist, countless Grand Slams, an MBE as well. And she got to hang up her boots in her hometown. We love that. And sorry, Cam.
To get 140 plus caps for your country in any sport that competes internationally is just insane. Like, think about how many international tests actually take place per year.
Yeah.
140 plus is insane.
And just bear in mind, and again, it's not the girls' fault. They didn't have like summer tests, autumn internationals like the guys
exactly.
did. So she's done it for longer.
She's done it Six Nations and World Cups, and
well, now it's getting the summer tests and the warm-ups. Yeah. But yeah, it's still what an achievement, what a legend, and just what a figure for women's rugby. I don't think you're going to have a better role model.
She's one of those players who will go down as such an inspiration for not even just young girls, like just young rugby fans in general, because I think we get to the point now where women's rugby is not just the young girls who are, there looking up because the sport's become more and more popular. Just young rugby fans in general, aspiring players, just one of those figures who's definitely going to be, one to look up to.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And there's not much else to add to that. We're just going to thank you, Sarah, for everything you've done. And we're going to move on today. And I'm stuck, even though in defeat, I'm sticking with what I'm saying, that Italy play better away from Rome. They played in Parma today.
This was the only game of the weekend I watched because I was a busy boy on Saturday.
You were, but we'll get to that.
But what a game to have watched. I picked the right one 100% because, yes, it's to be fair, only a 10-point difference. Obviously, if we go back to last year, Italy got a pretty famous win over France. Mm-hmm. The game was so tit for tat. And Italy and I'm going to praise Italy first because we'll get onto France because obviously they took the win. But Italy, my God, the defense that they put up was immense. Like, France must have been camped in Italy's 22 for at least 20 minutes, and they couldn't score a try. They could not score a try. Italy were just relentless. Player of the match, Franco, what a game she had. Scored Italy's first try and was just an animal all over the park. I'm pretty sure she was responsible for multiple of Italy's turnovers. Just an immense. I think her stats something like 11 carries, and she played 60 minutes. 11 carries, 40 plus meters made, an absolute shift for her.
Yeah, it's crazy, and it's nice to see her back as well. Apparently, she had a big nasty injury.
Well,
she's still I'm back into it fully. So
if you come back into the game and put a performance like that,
lead from the front, don't you? That's what you do.
100%.
I want to talk about the woman that ended Italy's hopes, Caroline Bajam. If anyone was deserving of a try, it was her. She was just everywhere today.
She had she had so many opportunities that were just snuffed out by Italy's defense, and you knew at some point if she kept playing how she was playing, she was going to go over the try line.
Yeah, there it is. 86 meters made.
Immense.
Oh, it's crazy.
But it was one of those. It was one of those games, and I think this might be the perfect game to highlight how entertaining women's rugby was, or women's rugby is. Sorry, because this game was like proper test match intensity.
Yeah.
Very, very good. You know, the only time it got a bit sloppy was towards the end when the rain started pouring down and we started seeing knock-ons. It started absolutely pissing it down, and we started seeing Italy, knock-ons and whatnot. But after playing 70 minutes of the rugby they're playing, you got to give the ladies some. You got to let them off a bit for how knackered they must have been, and in those conditions. But yeah, just an amazing game. Well done for France for getting the win.
Yep, well done.
Well done for Italy for playing the way you did. I think Italy definitely, still have. I'm still going to say Italy still have a shot at winning this competition because the way they played, and if they bring that sort of intensity and then just sharpen up sharpen it up a bit.
Yeah, no, that's fair. It's crazy. The bit that pointed out to me is when France brought on Player of the Decade, Jessie Tremolino. She's like a fine wine. She just makes things look ridiculously easy, and it's effortless for her. And
I will say one thing that is very scary about France that the rest of the competition will be looking upon, and I think even England, who are renowned for their scrummaging, will be looking towards, is France's scrummaging in that game. Against an Italy pack that no slouches.
Nope.
Absolutely dominated the set piece. Definitely in terms of the scrummaging, the lineouts were a bit here and there, but no, France's scrum is something scary.
No, I agree. But should we do predictions? Because we've got
let's go for the predictions, 100%.
So first of all, we have Ireland hosting France. I'm going to give Ireland benefit of the doubt because they're at home.
Yeah,
but I'm going to say France by 6. I think it's going to be tighter.
Yeah, I think. Listen, France are a quality team. We know they're a quality team. Ireland have a lot to work on. There's definitely a chance they can come right, and after a loss to Wales, they'll definitely be sort of galvanised and want to get a win at home. But ultimately, I do think France are going to come with just too much intensity. So I'm going to predict France by 15 points.
Oof. Now, the big one for me is at the Dam, Scotland versus Wales.
This could be a very interesting game.
I'm so excited for this.
This could be a very, very interesting game. Obviously, Wales will be full of confidence.
Yep,
Scotland will, as we saw in the post-match interview, they know that they have positive points from that England game. They'll want to capitalise on those positive points, grow off them. So I think we could be in for a tasty test match.
So what's your prediction?
I'm going to give it to the Welsh ladies. I'm going to say Wales by 4.
Okay. Back your team, first of all. I'm going to go Scotland by... Say Scotland by 10. I know that sounds mental because of the results. Just at home's a different level.
Yeah.
The girls now know what to do.
It'll make for a hell of an interesting tournament if Scotland can...
I can't hide my excitement anymore.
I'll be
there on behalf of Six Nations Rugby.
There we go.
It's nuts. I get to hand the coin to the referee for the coin toss. I get to present match ball. This isn't the match ball, but it looks the same.
Yeah.
In my boyhood club.
In your hometown, Murray.
Not my hometown, but close enough. And I also get to award the player of the match.
You get to award the player of the match?
Yeah, I get to award. Yeah, there you go. Well done, you.
Don't shithouse it now.
Just like, oh, well, you did all right. But no, I'm really looking forward to it, and I'll try and be unbiased as I can. No problem.
Wales
problem.
win by 50 points, and Murray's like, well, I think.
But no, I cannot wait. But I will move on because I could talk about that all day. We're down to Franklin's Gardens, where the Red Roses take on the Azzurri. England versus Italy.
As much as I have just bigged up Italy and said how much how positive their game against France was, I can't see them beat. I can't see anybody in this competition beating the Red Roses. Red Roses playing at home as well.
Say your score.
England by 40.
Yeah, you know what? I'll go England by 35, just to be different, but they are a well-oiled machine.
It is. It gets to the point where, like, yes, we want to see a good game. And the thing is, when teams are playing against the Roses, scoring a try and keeping them from scoring is a brilliant performance, even if you lose by 40 plus points. So they're just that type of team.
No, I agree. But I mean, we'll obviously go into depth next week when all that comes around. We are back with Club Rugby though. Premiership, URC, Super Rugby. You know what, right? Just because neither of us got hurt in this one, we'll start with Super Rugby.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
So started on Friday. Crusaders getting a big win over the Brumbies. There's only one team undefeated left, and it is the Waikato Chiefs getting a big win, 24-14 against the Waratahs in Sydney. So fair play to them.
Away from home as well.
The Highlanders finally got a big win over the Fijian Drua, 57-24. My God.
Talk about big wins, though.
We're on to the next thumping, and I hate seeing this, but Moana Pacifica getting taken to the sword by the Hurricanes, 59-0. Yeah, exactly. Bloody hell. Then we had a high-scoring Australian derby. The Rebels beating out the mighty Queensland Reds, 40 points to 34.
This was a hell of a game. I watched this game, and it was just what Super Rugby is all about. High-scoring, tit-for-tat, some beautiful tries scored. And the Rebels getting the win, which I don't think too many people would have bet on.
That's true. But the Blues also got a big win on the Sunday against Western Force, 30 points to 17. So, yeah, it's all good. Massive praise to the Chiefs, still undefeated. Damien McKenzie's 100th Super Rugby appearance, and he's still only in his 20s.
Mad.
It's crazy. It's wild. And you know what? I would actually really like to see the Chiefs win Super Rugby this year, because I don't think Crusaders are going to, because Razor, we'll do some news right now, he's a bit busy going forward.
He is.
He's going to be the All Blacks coach. We all kind of expected it.
It's what we all wanted, isn't? I know all the other countries saying, let's try snap up Razor, but ultimately we all want Razor to be the All Blacks coach.
Yeah, I mean, it's all good for Scotland as well, because from what I sent you during the week, it does seem like Leon McDonald's on his way.
Yeah.
For those that haven't seen that interview, he basically said yes without saying yeah. He was very jittery.
I can't talk about that type.
And then what was it? Wait till the dust settles and we can discuss it properly in a week or two.
If I say something, I am in big trouble.
Yeah, so if I speak, I'm in big trouble. Jose Mourinho said that. Made it great. but yeah, I mean, should I just quickly round 6 predictions?
Straight on to predictions. Let's go.
We have, first off, Moana Pacifica versus the Highlanders.
Moana Pacifica at home,
They just got 59-0 at home.
Yeah, but the Hurricanes. This is the Highlanders.
Okay.
And that's really harsh to say, but I don't think the game against the Hurricanes was a good showing of what Moana Pacifica can do. Obviously, they scored no points. But I'm still going to back them against the Highlanders, because I think they will want to bounce back. And we all know a wounded animal is a dangerous animal. And this Moana Pacifica team can definitely put up performances. So I'm going to go Moana Pacifica by 7 points.
You know what? You've convinced me. Not with the score, but I'll go Moana Pacifica by 4. There we go.
Hey.
We now have historically a big game. I don't think it's going to be a big game this weekend, though. The Reds host the Crusaders.
Oh, I want the Reds to win.
I cannot see Crusaders getting a third loss. I just can't.
I can.
Go on, Anne. What's your score?
I'm going to say Reds by 3 points.
No, I'm going Crusaders by 17. And that's I'm being generous.
I think, to be fair, you know me, I like going for more ballsy predictions, but if it comes off, I look like a genius. So,
and if it doesn't come off, you look like a tit.
I get absolutely grilled in the TikTok comments.
Yeah, they're fun.
We love TikTok comments.
I don't miss round 4 of the Guinness Six Nations just because of the comment section alone.
I had a bit of stick for some of my predictions, but hey.
Anyway, Fijian Drua host the Rebels, but I don't think it's
Drua are scary at home.
But it's not in Fiji.
Oh, it's in Australia.
I know that sounds stupid that they're at home, but they're not.
Yeah, they're in Australia, aren't they?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I'll double
if
check.
If they were in Fiji, I would have said Drua by 15. But since they're not, I'm going to say Drua by 5.
I'm just quickly checking to see if it is in Fiji or not. I don't think it is. But, you know. It is! Oh, it is! Yeah, no. Fijian Drua all day. Yeah.
Drua by 15 points.
HFC Bank Stadium is in Suva, Fiji. So there we go.
Yeah. Drua are scary at home, and I think it's just that home crowd. Those supporters there are tribal. So yeah, Fijian Drua by 15.
I'll go by 10. But yeah, big up the Drua. Then we've got a big Australian clash in the Brumbies versus the Waratahs.
Ooh, the Brumbies have been on good form.
Yeah, I'm going to go Brumbies by 8.
You're wearing a Waratahs jersey, Murray.
I know, but there's a reason I'm wearing this. It's simply because it's my latest purchase and I really want to show it off. So.
Fair enough. Yeah, I'm going to go Brumbies by 18.
Jesus. You're wearing a Rebels top and you predicted Drua, so don't give me it. I just noticed that now.
Thought I could get away with it.
Also, I was going to say something. I was going to say we've had a Brumby on and Nick White. We've not had a Waratah, but it depends on how you.
I suppose we've kind of had an ex-Brumby on with Matt Canton as well. So.
Yeah. Plus, well, David Campese was a Waratah.
He was a Waratah. That counts. It counts.
Does it count?
Yeah, it counts.
He played like 3 games for them.
It doesn't matter. It counts.
Okay. Lastly, Hurricanes versus the Force. Hurricanes by 19.
Canes by 35.
Oh, what did the Force do to you?
They lost to a Blues B team.
Fair enough.
Actually, I think we missed one. Chiefs versus Blues on the Saturday.
Chiefs stay undefeated. Sorry. I'll go Chiefs by... It's going to be a tight one. Chiefs by 5 is my prediction.
Blues by 1 point to end the unbeaten run.
You suck. You don't like anything.
No, but it'll make it interesting. Nobody's unbeaten.
Fair enough. Anyway, on to a bit closer to home now. We're in the Premiership, where it's the start of my heartbreak. Friday night, Newcastle beat Gloucester 17 points to 12 at Kingston Park. You did. Well done, you. Saturday, Tigers mauled Bears 46-24 at Welford Road. The big one at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, Saracens versus Quins. Saracens confirming their home semi-final spot with a 36-24 win over the Quins. I don't know what's going on, but we'll get into that. Finishing on the last game on Saturday at Brentford Community Stadium, or the G-Tech Community Stadium now as it's called. London Irish are in the top 4, beating the Saints 37-22. And Sunday, Bath
It's
got
okay,
a win.
Mary.
Bath got a win at the Rec.
Don't pretend. Don't pretend you're happy.
Bugger off, it's against Exeter Chiefs. Anyway, we're going to start with. You know what? I just want to talk briefly about London Irish, and there's nothing really about the game. Obviously, they played fantastic.
Yeah.
Tom Pearson, their open side flank. What a bright future he has. Ben Loader needs to get in that England team as well.
100%, yeah.
Those for fun.
I don't watch too much Premiership, and he stands out for me.
Yeah, no, he's fantastic. But the start of December, London Irish were like bottom of the table. Like they were not near top 4. And now, you know what? Go for it.
They've been properly competitive this season, even in defeat.
Yeah, but as a Chiefs fan, obviously I want my team to do well, like anyone would. But if it means Chiefs don't get top 4, but London Irish do, I'm good with that. I'm perfectly happy with that.
Yeah.
Purely because we've got 3 boys at London Irish as well. We have.
Could we see a London Irish Premiership?
I'd like it.
It'd be something different, wouldn't it?
They are everyone's second team, in my opinion.
Have they ever won it? They haven't, have they?
No, God, no. They've never been that. But I'd like it. But I'll just again, we're going to talk about more heartache for me with the Bath game. Fair play at Bath. This is what Bath should be doing.
Yeah.
And Cameron Redpath's try.
Cammy Redpath. And his little celebration as well.
He celebrated 5 meters out.
Literally. Like
arms out, tongue out.
He knew. Yeah, he had an amazing game. And I know obviously it came at the cost of your boys, but for me it was just really satisfying watching Bath perform for once.
Yeah, I mean that centre partnership. Cameron Redpath and Ollie Lawrence.
Disgusting.
This
shouldn't be allowed.
That is our first win of 2023. That is insane to say that.
It's a shame because when Bath play like that, you think they could give anybody in the competition a run for their money. But if we look at them, they're 10th on the log. Obviously, Falcons are below them, only 1 point below them. But, just imagine if Bath had started playing like this at the start of the season, we could be seeing them up in the top 4 easily. Yeah,
I agree with that. We're going to move on because we're doing it differently. There's no predictions for next week, but I'll get back to that later. We're now in the URC where more heartache comes from me and some heartache comes from Cam. So we'll start on Friday where Zebre, come on, boys, get the job done. They can't do it.
So frustrating.
Cardiff getting the win in Parma, 34-30. Then it's all fair at the RDS Leinster and Stormers 22 all draw.
Very unsatisfying. I'm not happy about that.
Nobody likes a draw.
No.
Over to the Stadio Monigo on Saturday, where Benetton get defeated by the Lions, 32-28.
What a comeback for the Lions as well, might I say.
Absolutely.
They were down, and it looked like they were down and out, and fair play to them. I'm very, very happy to see the Lions getting a win away.
Fair enough. Well, Welsh derby for you. Ospreys beating the Dragons 37 points to 18. We go to the sports ground, and I don't know what to talk about it. Connacht 41, Edinburgh 26. Anyway, down back to where Cam was, the Park of Scarlets. Scarlets beating the Sharks 32-20. Glasgow getting a big win over in Ireland. Doesn't happen very often. 38-26 over Munster. And lastly, it's an old tradition on RCP. The Bulls do not travel well because Ulster win at home 32-23. Cam, where do you want to start? Do you want to talk about your game?
Yeah, I'll start with Scarlet Sharks. I was there. I was in Park of Scarlets. Obviously, I was very excited after seeing the Sharks team announced. We had all our big boys back. Bongi Banami, Oxen, Shasia, Khaleesi, Ebenesbet, Mapimpi, all of them were back. And I will come out and say, I fully expected the Sharks to put hammering on the Scarlets. And that's not even to downplay the Scarlets because they've been brilliant this year. They really have been brilliant.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, ring rust. I'd say it's a lot of the Springbok players just um, didn't seem fully on the ball. Obviously, a lot of them haven't played rugby in a good while. There's been issues with the Sharks for a while. I feel like they don't really know what type of rugby they want to play.
Yeah.
And just execution. You know, there were 2 times on our own 5 meters when we had a line out and we scuffed it, knocking the ball on, just execution. And I feel like we weren't brave enough either. We kicked for goal when we really should have kicked for touch, because our scrum and our driving more was getting some real momentum going. Obviously, both our tries scored by Sia and Bongi. But ultimately, well done to the Scarlets. You played an amazing game, and regardless of beating the Sharks, it's nice to see the Scarlets playing well.
That's fair.
But it wasn't all bad, because obviously I got to chat to Werner Koch. He did come out, chat to all of us, and I got a picture with him, and I did get him to sign my jersey.
Nice, love that. Top bloke. Love.
Oh, absolute top bloke. Just the most honest, down-to-earth bloke.
But,
yeah. Do you want to talk about your loss now? Because we both had losses.
No, because this is my third loss this episode. And you know what's funny? It tells me why I don't have money. Because my original plan when the fixtures came out was, I'm flying to Galway. I'm going to watch Connacht because I've never been to the sports ground. And then it was coming up to it, getting closer, and wait a minute, I don't really have much money to fly to Ireland. But wait a minute, because Scotland's in Newcastle, which is about 3 hours drive. I didn't have money for it, and it was a sellout. And I kind of glad I didn't go. No offense, girls. I love you all, but I can't sit in that stadium for that, like, with that scoreline.
Yeah.
Because I could watch on TV and I can criticise and take good points. I don't feel like I've got... Because obviously when you're in the stadium, you're emotionally attached.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah.
So I'm kind of glad I just kind of sat at home this weekend and just kind of flicked it on and off. But no, I think Edinburgh's issue with this game was, and it's taken nothing away from Connacht, fair play to them, they're now up to 6th. But I think Edinburgh thought they had that game won. All because, and again, this hammers home that not one man makes a team. Darcy Graham returned. Great to see Darcy back. Love that. But he's not the team.
Well, and I think that's the same with the Sharks. I think the Sharks themselves thought that they were going to get a big win. And it doesn't matter how many Springboks you have. It doesn't matter the quality of your players. If you don't have a set game plan and you can't execute properly, you're not going to get the result. And I think that's where both of our teams fell short. Maybe a bit of overconfidence, and maybe poor execution and a shoddy game plan.
Fair enough. I agree with that. I just want to touch on, and I can't believe I'm going to say this, Glasgow Warriors.
You're loving it, aren't you? Yeah, you are.
No, I don't.
Murray's a Glasgow supporter.
No, I'm really not. But I'm definitely not. I don't like the stadium. I don't really like where it is. No, I don't like any of it. But there's a big but. It's like you with South African teams. There is some players that you just sit back and...
Oh, yeah.
And luckily, he is one of our boys. He is our Toko from Tonga, Sione Vailanu. How good has he been? What a signing he has been for Glasgow. And with this famous victory, it is the biggest win they've ever had over an Irish team.
Really?
Like points-wise, yeah.
Not
like matter-wise, obviously beating like Leinster and Munster in the final. Sort of stuff.
Yeah, no, but yeah, I mean, what was it, 12 points?
12 points, yeah, but this win has confirmed the Scottish Italian Shield will be going to Scotstoun. Glasgow Warriors have won that. And you know what? Credit where credit's due. I actually writ off Glasgow this year, not because it's Glasgow. I didn't rate Franco Smith as a head coach. They're 4th. They are sitting 4th. Whatever he is doing, fair play. And like,
just have a look at the URC standings.
Yeah,
we're 2 rounds away from the playoffs. So we'll go bottom to top. We have Zebre on 10 points. We have Dragons on 19, Edinburgh on 33 points, Scarlets on 33 points. But might I say, from 14th to 6th, there's only 11 points difference.
Yeah, but then you have to depend on a lot of different.
You got to depend on a lot of teams, but it's a close competition. You've got Scarlets on 33 and in 13th, Ospreys on 35 and 12th, Lions in 11th on 38, and they'll be really believing that they can get a playoff spot. Cardiff also very much believing they can get a playoff spot on 39. Benetton just falling out of the top 8 with 40. My Sharks very, very close. If we don't pull our finger out, we could fall out of the top 8 on 41. The Bulls on 43. Connacht now in 6th on 44 after that big win. Munster still pretty secure in 5th on 48. Ulster pretty much confirmed that they're... Glasgow, on 54 in 4th. Ulster pretty much confirmed a playoff, 59 points in 3rd. And then Storm and Leinster, I'm pretty sure they're confirmed a home quarterfinal. Stormers on 61 in 2nd, and Leinster unbeaten, but not all wins, 74 points in 1st. It's been an interesting tournament. Now we're coming to the end of it. It's been a very interesting tournament.
Sucked. I think I didn't realise until I looked at the table, because I go to every Edinburgh home game, and it's never been, apart from the Scarlets game and maybe the Leinster game, and maybe even this game against Connacht, there's not been any hammerings. They've always been close.
Yeah.
We've only won 5 games.
Yeah, well, if I look at the Sharks, how many games have we won this URC? Lost to the Scarlets, lost to the Stormers, lost to Ulster. We beat the Lions, we lost to the Stormers, we beat Edinburgh, we lost to Connacht, we beat the Bulls, we beat the Lions, we beat Ospreys, lost to Cardiff 35-0, lost to the Bulls, beat Glasgow, lost to Leinster, beat Dragons, beat Zebre. So we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 wins, which isn't great.
We've got predictions, but it's not for URC and it's not for Premiership, because in the height of everything going on,
yes,
European rugby.
Not even European anymore. Champions and Challenge Cup rugby is back.
Intercontinental rugby is back.
Yes.
So we've got the round of 16 in both respective tournaments. We'll start with the with the Challenge Cup.
Yep.
Because it's kind of like the baby brother. We start off with what could be an absolute banger on Friday night: Bristol versus Clermont Auvergne at Ashton Gate.
I believe in Bristol,
Do you?
I think Bristol are gonna get the win. I think they're gonna win convincingly. I think it's gonna be Bristol by 12.
You know what? I can see Bristol winning it by maybe 6, but I think Clermont are that heavy hitters in Europe. They want to get back to where they used to be. I'm going to say Clermont by 8.
Shame on you, Murray. Shame on you.
We have Scarlets versus Brive. I don't even know why this is a game, because Scarlets are going to win by at least 40, because Brive are shit.
Yeah, Scarlets. Like I said, you've been doing very well this year, and as much as I'm sore that you beat my Sharks, I will support you here, and I'm going to go Scarlets by 27.
Just saying, Scarlets, don't ruin all this lovely form to lose to Brive.
If the Scarlets lose to Brive after beating a Springbok-loaded Sharks team, the world doesn't make sense to me.
Make it make sense. Anyway, Saturday we have Toulon versus basically the Italian Cheetahs, because they're basically
big up the Italian Cheetahs.
Toulon by 16. Yeah.
Back my South African brothers, my South African Italian brothers. I'm going to go Cheetahs by 3 points.
Fair enough.
And Franz Steyn to kick a drop goal at some point if he plays.
Of course. Why not? We have a France derby and Stade Francais hosting defending Challenge Cup winners, Lyon. Now, Lyon dropped out from the Champions Cup, and I think that Lyon are too strong. So I'm going to go Lyon by 12.
Yeah, I like Lyon. So I'm going to go Lyon by 15.
That's fair. We've got a URC derby now. Benetton host Connacht, and you know what? This weekend's finished, so I can back my soft-spotted Irish squad again. I'm going to go for Connacht. Big win by 9 points, yeah.
Benetton by 13.
Ooh.
I think at home advantage as well. Yeah, I think they can get the job done. I'm going to back Ben. Obviously, you've got a soft spot for Connacht. I've got a soft spot for Benetton. So yeah, Benetton by 13.
Lions host Racing 92.
This is going to be a belter, you know.
I have to back Racing. I have to. Their whole DNA is let's win something in Europe. You've dropped out the Champions Cup, so do it. You not disrespectful to any other team. You technically have an easier chance at European glory now, so go for it. Do it.
Go on. What's your prediction then?
Racing by 6. It's going to be tight because it's in Johannesburg, but yeah.
Yeah. At Ellis Park, the Lions, they've proven that they can win on the road. And obviously back my South African brothers. Racing don't know what they're getting in for traveling South Africa. So, and I believe this will be Racing's first ever game on South African soil, which is pretty interesting. So I'm going to back the Lions to win by 12 points.
Fair enough. Got another URC derby. It's at Scotstoun. Question is, do I go? Probably not. Because it's Glasgow versus...
You have just expressed how much you hate the place.
I don't like the shape of the stadium. If you get in the main stand, if you have vertigo, you're in trouble. It's just very steep. I don't no. It was more for some.
So if you are a sufferer of vertigo, avoid Scotstoun.
Yeah, don't go. Don't do it. Anyway, Scotstoun versus Dragons. You've lost my track. Glasgow
the whole
Warriors.
of Scotstoun. It might end up that way.
Glasgow Warriors versus Dragons. It's going to be a bloodbath. It is.
Glasgow have been on phenomenal form in this tail end of the URC season anyway, so I'm going to say Glasgow by 25 points.
I'm going to up the ante there. I'm going to go Glasgow by 32. It's at home. It's European night. They live for this stuff.
You know how a lot of like bet makers and like official rugby programs and whatnot do bets, and they always do score predictions. They always do the score predictions quite low and quite safe. We're very much the opposite here on the RCP. We're realists.
We want people to chuck the money away. Go for it. Final game of the round of 16 in the Challenge Cup. Well, Anglo-Welsh derby. We've got Cardiff hosting the Sale Sharks. And I would absolutely love it for Cardiff to do it, but I can't see it happening.
Yeah, I'm gonna back the Tesco Basic Sharks, and I'm gonna say Sale by 6 points.
I'm gonna go Sale by 12. Ouch! Yeah,
Doubling my score.
So we're on to the creme de la creme of club rugby.
Indeed.
We have the round of 16 in the Champions Cup. Starting off on Friday, an absolute banger at Welford Road. Leicester Tigers take on Edinburgh.
How are you feeling about this then, Murray?
I'm asking you first. I'll go. You go first.
It depends. I'm assuming by now you'll have your big boys back for next week.
We're going full whack. That's all we can do now.
This is what I'm thinking. Full whack Edinburgh versus full whack Leicester. I got to back my boys Jasper Vesa and Andre Pollard, and I'm gonna go Leicester Tigers. There they are, Leicester Tigers by 10 points.
Oh, you suck. I really don't like you this episode. Back your team, Edinburgh. I mean, it's away from home. I fully understand what Welford Road It's like what the Tigers do at Wilford Road. But back your team. Come on, boys. Give us something to finish the season on a high.
Something
Please.
to celebrate. So, you're not going to get to the playoffs of the URC, but
I
still
don't-
got the Champions Cup.
I feel like Ian Beale right now. I have nothing left. We don't have the 1872
Got
Cup.
nothing left.
I've got nothing left. We lost to Glasgow. We don't have the 1872 Cup. I said it earlier. They've got the Shield. We're not getting into the playoffs of the URC. Give me something. Please. Please. Go Edinburgh by 6. Come on, boys.
Okay.
Anyway, Cam, now it's on to you because
My turn.
Our hosting Munster.
You know what? We're gonna play our fullback boys again. And listen, against the Scarlets, I said it when I was speaking about the game. The Springbok players, a lot of the big players, just looked like they were, very rusty. I feel like they'll have shaken the rust off. I feel like they'll have a good talking to after that loss against the Scarlets. And it's at home. We're back in the Shark Tank. We're back in Durban. Hollywood Best Stadium. The Sharks are gonna win by 15 points.
Ooh.
And I honestly, and I've said it, I truly believe the Sharks team can win the Champions Cup. Come on, boys. You're slacking in the URC. Give us something in the Champions Cup because ultimately this one means more.
I'm going to go. I'll agree with you. I'll go Sharks by 14 just because it's in Durban.
Come on, boys. Munster don't know what they're getting in for.
Stormers versus Harlequins.
What a game this is going to be, like I say.
I don't wait.
This is like before the South African team started coming and playing in Europe. You just dreamed of a fixture like this: Harlequins versus Stormers in Cape Town.
This is the sort of match that if we had a decent video game, this is the game you would play.
Just over and over again.
Just one of your mates go Stormers, one of you go Quins, swap, all good. I think the Quins could do it in Cape Town. I'm going to go
They
Quins.
could do it. They could.
They're not going to.
They won't.
No. I'm going Quins by. I'm going to go Quins by 9. Yeah.
Stormers at Cape Town. Stormers by 12.
Fair enough.
I'm going big wins for the South African teams at home.
Then we're at the Aviva, and what's the bloody point? Because it's Leinster versus Ulster. Well done, Leinster. We'll see you in the. I can't even answer this. What's the point?
I will. Leinster
Ulster by 3. They won't, but
nah, it's going to be Leinster by 20 plus.
50.
No, actually, no. I'm going to give Ulster some credit. I'm going to say Leinster by 6 points.
That's way too much credit.
I'm giving them credit.
You know what? My heart says Ulster by 1, but my head says Leinster by 20.
I mean, Ulster have given Leinster a good run for their money in the URC, but then they just let it all go. So
They don't do it, so I can't give. Anyway, defending champions, La Rochelle host Gloucester. Oh, good God.
La Rochelle by 40 points.
42. Make it interesting.
Okay, 40 plus points for me.
Yeah, I'll go. I'm saying 42. I'm saying.
Gregory Aldreet to eat Louis Rees-Zammit. Like, just physically eat him.
He's going to eat. If Stephen Varney's
actually, funny, sorry, just off topic. Do you know who I saw at Parker Scarlets? Louis Rees-Zammit. Just milling about the place.
Is he signing for Scarlet? I doubt it.
Well, that's what I thought. And Reece Priestland was there. He left the Scarlets for Cardiff, and he's back at Parker Scarlets. And Rees-Zammit's there. I'm just saying, RCP cannot confirm any theories as of yet, but no. Anyway, back to Champions Cup. Just thought I remembered
that. Sunday, Exeter Chiefs host Montpellier. Oh, come on, boys! Come on, it's the last dance. All the big ones are away at the end of the season. But come on, it's at Sandy Park. Come on.
Montpellier, though.
I don't care.
Corbus Reinach.
Don't care.
No, to be fair, your boys have looked good at home. I mean, we remember that game against the Bulls, don't we?
Yeah, we do. That was very fun.
Yeah, Chiefs by a solitary, no, 2 points, I'll say. I was going to say a solitary point, but 2 points.
I want to say by 8 points. There we go. Go on, Chiefs. Okay. Toulouse versus the Bulls.
And the Bulls don't well to lose. You know, I feel bad because I'm always like back my South African brothers, but
Jake White's not helping your case.
Jake White apparently feels like he hates the Champions Cup. He's probably going to send the Bulls under 15s team to lose.
We're on Dupont and Romain and Max is going to be sitting working and waiting.
Yeah, pretty much.
Fun. Toulouse by 21.
Bulls by 5.
You can't be serious.
Come on.
And another game of what's the point? Saracens host the Ospreys. Go on, Ospreys. Please, go on.
No, but think about it. The Ospreys have beaten Montpellier at home.
Yeah, but it's Saracens at home.
Yeah, but
I mean, I'm begging them to do it.
I've already exhausted my ballsy prediction with the Bulls and Toulouse, so I'm going to say Saracens by 17 points.
I'll go Ospreys by 3, but it's going to be I'll go Ospreys by 3, but it's going to be Saracens by 19, something like that. And there we go.
Well, that's all the predictions in the rugby that we've had this weekend, but our usual segment, our favourite segment, Random Game of the Week.
If you've got yours, you go first.
I have got mine, and it's sort of not redemption, but it makes me feel better about the Sharks' loss in the URC against the Scarlets, because in the Currie Cup today, the Sharks beat Western Province 20 points to 7, which Western Province are a very strong team, and I was very hesitant going into this game. But watching the game, you know, different to the URC team, the boys actually looked like they sort of knew what they were doing. They were dominant in possession and territory over Western Province, and it's a good win. It wasn't quite the bonus point win that we wanted, but it puts us at 3rd on the table with 10 points, just above Western Province now. And who are we playing next week? I can't quite remember. Let me just double check. On Saturday, we've got the Lions away on Saturday next week, and that's going to be a tough game because they've been on good form as well. But the Sharks are tracking well in the Currie Cup, which is a positive.
Fair enough. Love to hear that. I'm going for possibly the lowest scoring game I could find.
Okay.
And it goes to Cam's favourite, MLR, where the New England Free Jacks beat the Dallas Jackals 10 points to 9. Whoop-de-doo.
But you know what? That's actually like, I quite enjoy it because the Dallas Jackals for the last season have been the absolute whipping boys of the MLR. Like, they just get beaten left, right, and centre by big margins. And the Free Jacks aren't no slouch of a team. They're sort of a mid-table team, I'd say. But big up the Jackals for only having a points difference. No, I'm saying it. Come on, Jackals. Win some games this season for us. Win some games.
It's the MLR. I don't like it.
Sorry to any of our American viewers. Murray is anti-MLR. However, myself, I am pro-MLR.
No, I'm not anti-MLR. Just stop playing it on stupid college American football fields. The lines are very hard to tell.
That is true. I often find myself, I don't often tune in to watch a full MLR game. It's more of, I tend to watch the highlights. But when I do, sometimes I'll tune in. I'll be like, you've got like 17 10-meter lines and you can't tell which one's which.
Stop getting guys on motorbikes distracting the kicker. I know it was last year, but still, that shouldn't happen. Tighten your posts. They collapsed last year.
Yeah, they did, didn't they?
Twice. I get what they're trying to do, and they're becoming a powerhouse. They're going to become a powerhouse because of the World Cups, both World Cups. They're hosting men and women's, and like.
Do you think this? Like, genuine question. Let's just ask this question. Do you think? And quite a few people said it. But in the next 10 years, the USA are going to become men and women's. I mean, the women's are already, no pushover in the women's game.
Yeah.
The men's, however, obviously didn't even qualify for the World Cup, lost to Chile. But
I can
do
see.
you think the USA will become a top 10 team, let's say, in the next 10 years?
What, across the board? No. And
Let's say because the women are already doing pretty well. Let's say for the men's team.
Wait a minute. So for the men's team, no, I don't think you will.
No.
I think you might. I don't see why you can't. I just don't think you will. For the women, I can see you getting like World Cup semi, World Cup final, even. At
Yeah,
home.
100%. Like the USA women's team, no slouch at all. I think my 2 cents on it are: we look at countries like, if we look at globally the big rugby nations, we're looking at Ireland, we're looking at England, we're looking at like Wales or Scotland, we're looking at South Africa, New Zealand, where other than football, I'd say for places like England and Wales, rugby is the sport. Like rugby is.
But again, this is a thing that I spoke about with someone. In a big country like America or USA, or shut up, I'm losing it tonight. A big country like America or Australia, there's a lot of sports to play.
Yeah, exactly.
So popularity.
I mean, we've seen it with Australia over the last decade, I'd say, because rugby league over there and Aussie rules are far more popular in Australia than rugby union. Rugby union is in a difficult spot at the minute in Australia.
So I think just because of how, like, is rugby getting more popular in the States? Yes.
Yes.
But are you comparing it to baseball, basketball, and American football? Then
no.
It's not even close.
Not even close. But I do think we could, like, we're definitely going to see like, and with Canada, I know Canadians will probably hate me for balling them in with the USA, but they both compete in the MLR. They're both in a similar situation with the growth of rugby in their country. I definitely can see Canada and the USA qualifying for the next World Cup, or that, they're definitely going to be there. I can definitely see them making quarterfinals, but I don't think we'll ever be looking at like a top 10 lineup for world rankings and seeing a USA, seeing a Canada in a long time anyway.
So similar to what we all said about Japan a few years ago, isn't it? We need more games.
Yeah, well, that's true. They haven't been in the top 10 yet, though. Actually, no, they were 9th for a while, weren't they?
Oh, God, I can't remember.
They were after the World Cup. They were, or 8th was it? I think they were 8th.
We've got big, just to round off, just because you mentioned rugby league when you're on about Australia there. There's a big signing coming to Waratahs next year. I don't know if you've read about it.
I have not, so enlighten me.
I'm a bit foggy on my rugby league. I can watch NRL, sorry. Not Super League, I don't like it. Anyway, Sydney Roosters like flying rookie Joseph Thuali.
Yeah.
I think basically has been headhunted to join and cross codes. You see quite a few union players. Like, have you seen Geordie Barrett heading over? Yes.
To league?
That's just, well, I think that was more just a promotional thing, but I think he has also said, I'd like to give it a go one day.
Yeah. You don't often see too many league players. Like, obviously, like big names like a Sonny Bill Williams played both. He was back and forth through league and union, but you don't often see league players coming through and signing for union teams.
So basically, I think Eddie Jones wanted him now, but because the Super Rugby season's already started and Sydney Roosters are quite hesitant, it was like, no, you're not getting him.
Yeah.
But he's signed, he'll be with the Waratahs next season, like a 4-year deal. And apparently, I don't know how true this is, the rumour is he's on $2 million a year. He's like 19 years old.
Bloody well, where's the Aussie Rugby Union getting this bloody well money from?
I don't know, but he's contracted until 2027.
That's like Anton Dupont money.
That's more than what DuPont gets.
Yeah, 100%. Like, but you know what I mean?
That's more than that's Finn Russell's.
That's Finn Russell money at Racing.
No, it's Finn Russell's deal at Bath. Finn's £1 million a year at Bath.
That's another thing. Like, how the bloody hell are Bath going to afford Finn Russell and now Thomas du Toit? Like, bloody hell. But I will say I actually watched a half of rugby. I watched my first ever rugby league match between the Roosters and the Rabbits, I think.
Rabbitohs.
Or Rabbitohs. They're the Rabbits. They've got a rabbit on their jersey. They are now the Rabbits.
Okay.
Bloody Rabbitohs. It's not even an animal. But
we're not doing this. We've had this for those who don't know. Me and Cam have had this discussion like all week. Like
what about rugby teams? Yeah,
daft names for rugby teams. But we're going off topic. Yeah, basically, a wonder kid is coming to Union next season on
exciting new talent,
big money. He's already getting compared to Israel Folau, like talent wise, not.
Yeah, not personality wise.
Not personality.
He does not share the same views as Israel now. Hopefully,
I mean, he might. I don't know.
He might, but if he doesn't, to be fair, if he doesn't come public and really double down on it, then I don't have a problem. But
very much,
you know,
he's still around at the end of the day. But no, it's been Rugby Connection podcast. If you're really missing Rugby Sevens now, I know it's a few more weeks till that returns. Our latest interview is with one of Irish Rugby's Sevens players, Brian Mullen. What a great guy! I talk to Brian all day. I could listen to him all day. He is just a very nice guy. He's been in the Irish Sevens setup since day one, since
pretty much
Olympian, bronze at last year's Sevens World Cup. Yeah, great chat. Go and give it a listen. And next week, there's probably more guests. There's a lot coming out. We've got a few referees coming, so there's more.
We love the referees.
We do. It's just a different insight. That's what we.
Yeah, it's something different. Don't see too many people interviewing referees.
We've been different.
It's just unique.
We're very unique, and we've got more history ones based off like first evers, is what I mean. More in the female game. So there we go. I love that because we've got a lot going on.
We've got a lot going on. We've got more Women's Six Nations to cover. We've got more Super Rugby to cover. We've got European Rugby to cover. When URC playoffs and the rest of the rounds come, we've got a World Cup this year. We've got Sevens to come. We've got Rugby Championship. We've got a random game of the week every single week that we have to pick, which is exhausting at the most.
Oh, actually, I'm going to just chuck in another one there. It's very cool. No, just because it was very impressive. So Dunfermline, very close to me, needed one win to seal promotion into National League status in Scotland grassroots. Yep. Boy, they definitely won it. 102-0. There you go. There you go.
That's one way to get yourself promoted.
That's it. So well done, Dunfermline. And yeah, this has been Rugby Connection podcast. We have TikTok Six Nations, Premiership, URC, Super Rugby next week. Oh, there's so much, like Cam said. I mean, just buckle up because we've got a lot planned. It's going to be fun.
Happy days.
Don't know how much else to say to that. So it's been Rugby Connection podcast, and we'll see you next time.
Cheers.